Thou shalt not suffer a sorceress to live. For her neighbour's sickness was more than merely unnatural, for he sang perfectly without moving his lips. For she is intemperate in her desires and pilfers apples from the orchards, for she hitches her skirt to clamber the fence. For her womb is a wandering beast, for she is husbandless and at candle time brazenly trades with the devil. For she spoke razors to her brother, who has looked upon her witch's pap and the odious suckling imp. For the corn is foul teeth, for the horse is bedlam in its stable, for the black cow and the white cow are dead.
Okay, the first question is, how do you start your day and what do you have for breakfast?
Well, start the day very early at the moment. Seem to be waking up at 6 a.m. because we've just adjusted our clocks. So I start it a little angry,
Yeah.
shall we say? Usually, I know it's boring, but we read poems in the morning. We read a few poems. My husband's a poet as well, and we read a few poems. And have a
Like out loud or just to yourself?
Out loud. Yeah, out loud. Not our own poems. That's how. Yeah, because my job is reading other people's poems. So we read poetry books in the morning. We do a few of those. Have a cup of herbal tea, pint of water. For breakfast, I have porridge with various things like blueberries, nuts, seeds, like a squirrel, and most importantly, a really strong cup of coffee, and that's when it starts. That's
Okay.
when you can wake up. So that's a ritual.
Okay, thank you for that. The second question is, do you like cooking?
I do like cooking. My husband does most of the cooking at the moment because he probably likes it more. I like eating. I do like cooking. I like making stuff up. I mean, I do like following recipes and getting the right stuff and things, which is quite difficult at the moment sometimes. But yeah, I really do like cooking, and we like food. We have a proper meal every day. One of us spends an hour or two in the kitchen or something. I know, right? But yeah, Martin does most of that. That's because I have my studio, because I'm a visual artist, so I have that space to go in. And Martin says that the kitchen is like his studio, so he goes in there and creates, and I just sit and eat. I do have to clean up afterwards as well, the kitchen.
Okay. And do you have like your own specialty, like your signature thing?
Do I have a signature thing? I make Italian things. So I'll make a pasta sauce. I like things with tomato in my signature things. When we used to have people for dinner, a very long time ago, we were allowed to do that kind of thing. I make a really nice cake, which is almonds and lemons and rosemary and olive oil. It's just it's really nice kind of cake like that. So that's one of my things that I love. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Makes me want to make it now, actually.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah,
hungry.
it's lunch here.
Listen to this one. If you were a dish, what would it be?
If I was a dish, one of those misshapen ones that a potter makes and then throws away. You mean a dish as in a meal?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be a strange mixture of things. A lot of, I don't know. This is I've never answered it, but I've answered the biscuit one. If you're a biscuit, what would you be? I usually say I'm kind of misshapen, one of those factory biscuit boxes that usually get thrown away and stuff. Yeah, have these broken biscuits. Oh, well, thank you. I love broken biscuits. So maybe that. Can I say that?
Sure.
Broken biscuit.
That's a perfect. That's a perfect.
Nice, right? Everyone likes biscuits, and you don't. If you're getting broken biscuits, you're not disappointed.
Great. So I know that you've just said it, that when you cook, you follow recipes. And the next question is about the recipe for poetry that you have. What's your recipe for poetry or a good text in general?
Oi. Okay, my recipe. I don't what for when I write a poem or what I tell students to do. When I write a poem, I kind of wing it. I have somehow I have, because I'm quite a visual person, so I have images stored in the back of my head. So when I get an idea for a poem, these images, appear and
Okay.
I don't know, somehow assemble themselves into a poem. So I suppose that's like looking in a cupboard and putting bits and pieces there together which feel like they should go together. So it's like a collage. Maybe cookie's like a collage as well, but some kind of alchemy happens as well. That doesn't answer the question, does it? I've just kind of ran around the room a bit with the idea.
You can say whatever you want and it will answer a question in a way.
Yeah, okay, right. Well, that was my answer, I think.
Thank you for that. The next one is this. If you were to compare your writing to food, what would it be?
Well, it would be because I'm quite, as I say, because I'm quite a visual person. So the plate would be important to the food, because that's your canvas, that's the thing you're putting on. Because visual space is really important to me. How I lay my poems out, and how much weight of the pages around it. So the plate would be as important as the food, if we're using this analogy. I don't know, what was the original question? I've gone off on one about analogies. I said a really fancy word, and now I need to break you to read.
It was about comparing your poetry to food. What's the food? If your poetry was food, what would it be?
For a rarefied taste. I think very much so, because I'm there's no way my writing is mainstream. It's a bit, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit magical realism or something. So so it would be to a rarefied taste. If people were going to a restaurant, and they wanted that kind of food, they'd love it.
Like fine dining.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I don't know. No, not fine. I don't know. That makes you feel as though you're kind of something special. Don't know the particular taste. I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay. And the last one is, like we began with starting the day and breakfast, the first thing you eat. What's the last thing you mean? What's the last thing that you have during the day to eat?
Food-wise, I'll say whiskey. No, that's wrong, isn't it? I usually have in the evening after a meal. Obviously, I don't know, say obviously, but the craving is for something sweet. So maybe a little, not too much, just a little bit of chocolate. Maybe a crystallized ginger. Just something, maybe, I don't know, dates if I'm being healthy. Just something small, really, and another pint of water. I top and tail my days with water.
Yeah, so it begins with water and it ends with it.
With water, yeah, absolutely. We all go back to water. I don't know. Just talk myself into another circle. It's like this pond. Yeah.
And that would be it. Thank you very much. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. I have no idea what I said then either, so yeah.
The hanged woman addresses the Reverend Heinrich Kramer. Do you cower in your crib at night against encroaching evil tongues? I picture you skittish inside your nightgown, a swollen tempest swoop upon your roof and rattle the door you bolted thrice against the dark invisible. You said might womb you such hunger that I might devour a man entire. Pray tell me in your clearest chapel voice what tales they told you at the breast. A pretty devil's pact would render your creeping flesh delicious. A sour wind stirs papers on your desk. You say women have weak memories, then you shall be perplexed that despite my ruined body in the noose, I recall each gnawing passage of your book When the sun awakens, they will cut me down